I went to Lowe's and the big box store, the Getting Spot, and got some stainless steel, wow, bolts for this newfangled thing, and I got this here. Now I know I'm ordering a new gauge, and well, must be 5 o'clock, and all that, but if I'm not going to drill a hole in the Jaguar, it's not going to happen. Now, the other thing that most people don't know, here, I'll show you this. A lot of people don't know about these Jaguar E-types is how the bulkhead works. I hear a bird. Let's go out there and get him. That got him. Did you see him? He was right here. I didn't know that. I just ordered a bunch of stuff on Amazon to get rid of the flipping birds. I don't want them dying in the barn. And that's primarily my purpose here. So anyway, I got to go up to the milk place. But I got these fittings for this original system that I don't care for. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. So this is the problem with Jaguars. It's not a problem. I love every minute of it. But whew, smoky in here. See, the bulkheads on these. There's ooh, I got my new lamp. Let's turn it on. See, there's a bulkhead right here, and there's another bulkhead right back here. So there are actually pipes. See that pipe going in there and in there? They actually go inside, and you have to take the dashboard out to do a lot of work. And then you got the transmission stuff for the 3 windshield wipers. And so it's going to be problematic to run a oil pressure. I've been running that thing. See, it's still smoking a little bit. And trying to I don't want to come here tomorrow and face birds. I'm tired of it. So there's a bulkhead here, bulkhead there, and there's the oil filter head. And I've got to find a way without drilling holes to get to there. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. So that's why I did all that other fitting stuff today. I'm going to try. But this is a mystery zone in here. I guess I got my camera, my borescope. I guess I could look in there and see what I could do. I was thinking I could probably go in underneath, maybe at the gearbox, and you know, whatever. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So anyway, I'll have to sort something out. I so much prefer a mechanical analog oil pressure gauge, but we'll see. I can see that down there. It says Jaguar. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. I think you can almost see the smoke in the air from my lamp. But it's springtime, and these birds are just trying to find a way in here. So it's a constant battle. Constant. All right, so we'll see how this goes. Spring forward, you know. So there's that. I got to cut that gasket out. And here's all the other stuff I got to work on tomorrow to try to get the oil thing going. I hadn't heard from Autometer yet about shipping, so we'll see how it goes. So, stinks in here. Let's get out of here. Let's go up and have some nice fresh cod. I'm digging this thing. I mean, I really think it's great. And it's so much more dependable. I don't have to whack it on things and so forth. I'm happy John's trailer turned out well. I hadn't heard from him, so no news is good news. Nobody calls me unless they want something. So that's okay. I realize that that's the way it is. So the burn pile's burning down. There's that door from previous video that I replaced at the back over there. I got to paint that other door red. And that door, so it just looks better even from here. I never really noticed it till just now. So there's that old builder grade door. And whew, cold, wet, and rainy today. Oh gosh, I love it. I promised to walk around here of things, so I'm gonna do it. Gotta make sure when you open these that they don't hit things like that. So, well, a little too close. Let's see if I can slip by. So this motor, this has the oil filter that was at this angle crazy. So I put a remote filter in it so it'll oil up when it should. So that's this 1300 1296 little bit of oiling thing. Older cars, if they sit for a long time, things are going to change. It's going to get ugly. So that's what happened there. Okay. The TR4. Get rid of these birds if it kills me. Oh, here's my new light. I'm digging my new light. So it's like a bunch of light, isn't it? See, this one's real easy to deal with. Same type of head as on the Jaguar. And you can actually adjust the oil pressure on this one. And there's that feeder from the oil gallery up to the head and all that other stuff. The actual breather. But we're talking about this now. This is the Purolator type. It doesn't look, it's been here for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. Doesn't lick a drop. It's fine. So here's the Healy. The Healy is really, really difficult to deal with. And the oil filter on this one is right there. And that silver tube, it's not leaking either. But boy, I was happy to get rid of that silly spin-on filter on the side. So that one's better. I don't know why the Jaguar one's so problematic. But this car, when I got it, just was, this is what was on it. Was that crazy thing right there. I can't stand that. So that was that thing right there. Now here's my oil coolers. I've got several of them. One of them's out of a Piper Cub, I think with a Lincoln. I can't remember what motor was in it. And that was one I just found in somewhere else. I don't remember. I think that was Paul's. And he just never, and that's Paul's plasma cutter. Boy, I don't use that, do I? I just get the Sawzall. So anyway, that's the way these things work. Let's get back on the Jaguar. I got to find a way to get that oil pressure hose up into the cabin. I don't know, work on that tomorrow, not right now. Let's not do it right now. Although I have used this one in the past, the more modern one, the Leland one, I'm not going to use it. I have changed my mind. I don't know what I'm going to go back to the old one. And the reason is because of the pickups in the block. I use that and I got oil pressure and it's fine. But the block, I don't know. I guess they drilled them out differently. So you look down in here and you'll see the pickups. I've cleaned and tapped all of that. And apparently, keep this down because those are open. It will work, but the backings are different. I've been trying to clean up. I've been out here bouncing around all day cleaning up, and I got, is there anything I hate? It gets a little warm. Is when people give me stuff like that. Well, if you didn't do that, we wouldn't have these problems. So you saw the shape of all that. So here is this one. It will bolt up, and I will say that it worked for me. I can't say it'll work for you. But see the design there, and see the design there is different. So what are we going to do about an oil pressure gauge? Because I don't want to use that old transducer type. I've already started on my gasket. So I've been working on that. And here's that one. but I think I may have it. I gotta wait till the other one gets here from Autometer, not a sponsor, and I'm gonna try to do this. Now the other thing is this has been helicoiled right here. That's never good. Sometimes it's as good as it's gonna get. But this is the oil drain that we talked about, and I got a felt filter here. I'm ready to go. So that's what we're gonna use. I got this classic gold felt filter. I got my new hoses. That's gonna help. It's just windy. And this is a Tacalemit Type FA2119. And oh, I want to look at that Wix filter. I think it's a 51183. Let's see, a 51183. You can get them too. It's got to change them every time, which I probably do anyway. So I'm gonna have to seal this. This is why I would change it every time anyway. Is there anything else down in there? No. Because I'm not going to be able to use this drain anymore because it leaks. That's one of the leaks. That's one of the many leaks. So I'm heating up the juice here, and I've got all my parts in here. I got my diagram up there. Thank goodness I have that Jaguar book. And this is a very important part right here. No, it's not. It's just a drain for this thing. I just leave it in there. I don't know why. I never use it because it just clogs up. I just leave it in this basket. So I'm going to clean all this up. Right now, I'm going to, look at that. I got my sandpaper out. It's up to you what sandpaper I'm going to end up with 400. You can only do the one side, and we're going to see how bad that is. So, it's been very problematic in my mind on how to go about this, but I don't really want to plug that off, but I just don't see a way of getting around it. So we're going to clean. I've already put it on the wire brush over there and gotten the sealant off of it. I'm curious to see how bad this thing sands out. So let's see. Let's just take a look here. I got a pad right there, so I'm going to put my knee on that. Okay. Make sure it's clean. If there's anything I got faith in is the flatness of this floor. Let's just see how bad it is. You could French polish it, do the figure 8. Yeah, you can tell it's got high spots and low spots. You want to do this before you put it in the ultrasonic. So, and like I say, that gasket material I'm using has a metal sheet in it. Now you can take that and then you just flip that off, and yeah, see, it's got a low spot down at the bottom. I think this was a good idea. Let's wait till we get it a little better. And y'all hear chatter? That's good. That means you about got it flat. Yeah, and I've about got it flat. Now that could have been down here at the very bottom. See where my finger is? Just say no. Right down here, you can see where it was not very flat. Now we are talking 1967, so people, they were a lot more tolerant of oil leaks back then. Nowadays, you just don't see it much unless you got a Ford Escape. And then you got to call the zone rep about it. But anyway, it's a story for a different day. Yeah, that's looking good and shiny there. That's looking all right. So let's go get the other piece of sandpaper. And this is all I had that was a little smaller. So I'm going to have to sort of stay in that realm. Ooh, getting a lot out of that too. Yeah, it definitely was not flat. I'm just going to turn this around. Oh, it sounded good, didn't it? It sounded better than it did when I started. And there's your chatter. I think that's enough of that, but obviously was a problem up there. All right, let's clean this stuff up and get all those little bits of metal. Yeah, that looks a lot better already. Step one on making the gasket. So far that looks like it's going to be just fine. Okay, let's give these things a bath here. I think I'm just going to cut this out with a Dremel. I think I want to do all this before I put that in the final wash there, the ultrasonic. Well, I fell in the rabbit hole. I love doing it. So I took this whole thing. It's got to be from the 30s. See those square heads here and these slotted screws? Boy, I don't know, 30s or 40s maybe. But, well, that's some hard oak. Hardwood floors. And so, boy, that's pretty rackety. I'll fix it. And so anyway, I took my mind off this Jaguar stuff. So I finished this gasket. I'm pretty happy with it. And, you know, I think it's just fine. That's the metal that's inside of it. And I just think that's just going to be the cats right there. No pun intended, it being a Jaguar. And this just finished. I changed the water. I changed the water a lot in this. Ooh, steamy. She'll just sit there overnight. Let's just see what it all looks like. Yes, sir. Cleaned up nice. Nice and hot. So, yeah, I'm not going to powder coat any of this. And I'm just going to get the threads clean. Okay, let's put it back in there. Let it sit overnight. The water, look how dirty the water is. It was just clean as a whistle. About 2 or 3 hours ago. My method is changed a little bit. I heat the water up in this heater because it's so fast. And then I just dump it in here. Because you turn this thing on to heat up water, you got all day. But you can do this in about an hour and get it up to pretty hot. Let's see where we are. Let's see, somewhere in the 55, 6. So we're almost to 170, 150. So you can do that real quick, but unless you leave this hot all the time, it don't get hot quick because it don't get cloudy. All right, so let me go up and see about getting my diagrams in order. Yeah, so the other side of this, just kind of if you want to see it, I've been stripping on it. See, you can tell, because somebody had put a pot on it and put a ring in it and messed it up. So, but that is some ancient hard oak, and it's tiger oak. That's why I wanted it so badly, because tiger oak's cut so the quarter sawn in the middle. You know what I'm talking about. It just is so beautiful, so different than just straight grain stuff. All right, we'll fix them. It'll be, but like I say, I think I'll stop talking about this. But that's a no good nick there. And we'll have to take this stuff out. Okay, I'll stick on one subject. Okay, one subject. Let's go in. What time is it? Almost 7. Okay. More later. So I'm thinking of a way to get that braided line into the cockpit. And I do see some plugs right there. See them? I don't have a pointer. I guess I do. There's a plug here and here. And there are these plates right here, which is what used when you got right-hand drive. I don't see, even if I get these plugs out, I've got to come up with a way to get all the way through, and that just makes, ooh, what was that? Oh, that's just the spring. The spring came off and almost went under the lift. See where I fixed that up years ago? Isn't that pretty? And so let's just put this here, and I got a bore scope, so I forgot about that. Maybe that's something I can use here. Well, let's just pull those out, pull one out and then the other, and see if we can get something figured out there. Might have to go get the bore scope. Let's look inside too and see how hard it is to get into these, because if it's not real hard, then we may do that, and I might just make a wooden cover or some kind and bring that braided line up from the oil filter head and get it into the car. I got 6 feet to work with, and I think that's 6 feet. after just a minute or two of demolition here, I pulled down that mat right there. I took the floor pans, the floor mats out, and this little panel right here, and you end up down here and you can see these plates. I'm gonna go for this one. What do you think that is? I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. We're gonna try to pull that plate off and see if I can get the cable in through there. Pretty carpet, huh? That's out of the Bonneville. You recognize that 60s loop pile, but it was close enough to match, and it's a sound deadener. So it sounds pretty dead in here. There's a lot of dead sounding going on here. Okay, back under the floorboard on the right side, it's a very gummy 7/16. So let's see if I can get this out. And of course, I take everything off. Anything I take off the Jaguar, I'm very careful about putting it in a box. It says Jaguar on it up in the attic. Okay, look. All right, and I save every little bit. And it looks like there's some rubber around that too. Oops, I don't want to lose any little things. Stop it. Okay, so I got everything out here. There's flat washers, internal star washers, and the nuts, and they're all right there. So we can just do it like this. So I got my little noise alert device here. Okay. All right, she's loose. I don't want to whack on it too directly. I don't want to put any dents in it. Okay, let's go out there now and see what we got. All right. Wow, that was big. Gotta go over there and close that door. Don't like cars sitting around with doors open. And I can see that it's moving. That it has moved, I should say. And it's right here. And come on, baby, there is a seal around that. Okay, I see that now. And so, as always, it's going to be half on, half off. And I'm going to just float it around there. Okay. She sure don't want to come, does she? Okay, let's get that wrapped around there. So what have I got over here? I've got this. Okay. So we're going to go here. All right, and we're going to hopefully get that unstuck. And this is worth it because you don't have to. The screwdriver might be just a little too big. I was going for big. I need to go for kind of a medium here. Well, come on, baby. I know you're stuck down there. Don't want to rip that thing. Okay, so I think what's holding it now is this is a vacuum line here that goes into the firewall. Also, okay, oops. Let's see, I think I messed it up somehow. If I did, that's okay. It's kind of a not seen. Oh, it's really stuck on the other side. I think that might just be a... Yeah, I tore it, but that's okay. Well, there's the pan. And that's very interesting. I didn't dent it up any. And there is the seal. And there's no real damage done there. But it was stuck because of the glues that were used to hold the carpet up and everything. And so we can just tap that right back down there. So we'll be, let's see the blue carpet? Here you go. Won't this be fun? You'll be able to see it. Of course, the flashlight will. There it is. There's or flash lamp light, torch light, whatever you want to call it. Flashlights, yeah, America flashlights. Okay, so that's great. That really is great. That saves a lot of trouble. So I'm very, very pleased with that. So I'm going to wait to get the meter, cut this out of a piece of that quarter plywood that I use a lot of, and we're going to be dandy. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It is the next day. I just finished doing that table. Just finished doing the first part. I've got to finish it tomorrow. Come on, baby. You don't want this one falling down on you because this one's got a lot of stuff in it. And I'm going to be needing this stuff. All of this stuff probably. Not all of it, but you know, all of it out so I can sort out what I need. And this been sitting here overnight. And let's pull all that out of there. Oh. Okay. Look at that. Ooh, it kind of cut. I didn't know it was painted. Oh, I'll be danged. Maybe we ought to run. Look at the gunk. It turned it black. I don't care what color it is. As long as it gets that junk off of there. Well, I didn't know that. Ugh. Well, let's go over there with a wire brush and knock that off. The trouble now is it's all down in there. So I may have to get the Dremel and clean. Ooh, it feels slimy where that glue, or where that paint was. I didn't know it was painted. All right, well, here's all my other stuff. Don't forget that thing. Well, I'm going to come over here in the light, and I've got my Dremel ready to go. My multi-speed Dremel with a brass end. And I'm going to try to get all that out of there I can. That seems like the best way to do her. And of course I won't be able to show that. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Oh, I looked this thing up, man. You can spend $400 or $500 on this setup with the whole thing. That's a fairly common, of course it would be old Jaguar stuff, you know, common enough. So yeah, the whole thing, I saw one for like 600 bones and released on eBay. So anyway, let's clean this up. I'm all set for assembly now. That's all been cleaned out with brake clean and everything. I've got the Zep cleaner and all of that. So you got to remember to put this on. I don't have that little clip that goes right in next, but so JB Weld 243. I got this. I'm going to use this. This came in something. It's 242. That's 243. So 242, 243, whatever it takes. Don't forget that rubber gasket up in there, okay? And you'll feel it, okay? All right. And so that red silicone sure got everywhere, didn't it? Come on, you. There you are. Let's get it over there. So we're going to JB Weld in the oil drain plug into this nasty old Healy coil here. No wonder that leaked. That's some pretty awful thread. That's pretty coarse thread. So let's put this thing together. There's diagrams all over the place on how to do it. So go ahead, and I'm going to use some copper gaskets, copper rings, and all that stuff. So let's get them together. I'm so happy to have this too. That's gonna really help us out. Let's do that so dirt won't blow in it. Okay. So let's get her together. We got that plate, that stock back plate, and this guiding device here. I've got the JB Weld mixed up. It's not going to focus on JB Weld. There it is. And I got my little screwdriver, and I got it all wiped into the threads here. And so I'm going to turn this up this way. Okay. You don't want to overdo this. And I got a new copper washer on it. And it's going to leave a little trail, but it's going to pick it up on the way too. Now, I would have used some 606 Loctite or something on this, but I just decided this was better. And that's 9/16, as I remember too. And I'm gonna just let it sort of ooze out there a little bit, and then you just wipe that off so you look like you know what you're doing. And that probably helps seal it up in there a little bit too. So, all right, so there's 2 steps. Okay, let's wipe this off. Don't want to put that back in your pocket with JB Weld on it. Might not ever get it out again, huh? So the wind ain't dying down, that's for sure. Okay, next. When it comes to this ball check valve, I recommend very highly that you don't take it apart, but I also recommend that you keep it, you clean it, you push the ball down with your little screwdriver, and then you blow it out with your brake clean. Kind of nice to get rid of this. I've had this little tube of this stuff, I don't know how long. It already ran down around the corner. Don't need much. Okay. Oh, I gotta find a seal for that, I forgot. So this was the seal that was on it. See, I've seen better days. Yeah, there you go. I got lucky and in my stash, and with a little gentle work from the Dremel, and I'm gonna have to get a little sandpaper and clean it off too, but I was able to find this baby here. And that's a big old copper ring, but it's gonna have to be kind of sanded, and I've already got my sandpaper down there from sanding the edges of that. So whoa, that's gonna be great right there. That's really good. I'm so happy I found something, because this is big stuff. It's hard to find fiber washers, you know, these little kits and stuff. Guess you can get stuff for like larger equipment or something, but this is really cool. Where'd that sandpaper go? I'll find it. Look how well that fits. Well, I sanded it out. You can see where it's a little bit more coppery. I mean, that when that tightens, it'll crush inward and outward. And so there we go. Boy, that's surgical almost there for what we're doing. So I had these crushable babies here. Too big for this. And it took me a good long time with my friend the Dremel down there to get that to go. I had these. Those are very thick. I tried to use a drill, but that didn't really work. If it had to work, it would have worked. But I like that better because it's thinner, and I just got it to thread on there. So you'll just have to kind of believe me, but it does. And a lot of Dremel damage to my left hand, across my thumbnail and everything. It's a focus fest, isn't it? So let's get this on there. Yeah, see it slip down on there? Sometimes I'm better left-handed. There you go. There you go. So let's put the blue Loctite on her. And that also, we learned from watching other YouTube videos that that's also a good sealant, or a decent sealant. Okay. Wow. All right. Whew. I don't think the other ones will be as bad, but they might be worse. All right, about to lose my battery here, so that part there goes in first. And that goes into there. Well, it would if you did it right. Oh, well, I think it goes in. I thought that was the way it went. That's the way it works on the diagram. There it goes. Okay, so you got that going in there. And I'll spin that around a couple of times, and then this thing here goes there. Okay. And then you got your Loctite and your little gasket, and you put a little pressure, on it. Okay. All right. Well, I'll go look at my picture again and make double dog sure, but I think I am sure. Now I realize the gasket is supposed to seal around this, but I still like putting these copper rings on these. It just crushes it right here in case it sneaks by here. I mean, I'm going for the gusto here today, baby dolls. So no filter in there yet, of course. So okay, well let's wrap this thing up. Everything's down and tight and sealed and looks good. Dremeled out, all cleaned and brushed, and I'm happy as I can be. All right, leave it. Your filter will come usually with different O-rings. The trick is getting it into the slot down here. See that slot down in there? Ooh, that's no good. We won't do that again. And you just got to make sure it goes in there. And I never put anything in there. The other thing that I remember happening on my TR4A when I changed the oil in it, first Triumph I ever had, there were like 3 of these gaskets in that thing. You want that to go in there as tightly as you can get it. And that's pretty good there. Okay, that's real good there. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with that. So I got this put back together. Everybody's got their way of looking it up, because it's the rubber, over the pin, the spring, the hard washer, the felt washer, and then the cup facing up, and then you can put this in there. I'm not going to open this till there's more in there. Put these in my O-ring pile. Look at that. I didn't know that. Okay, I just kind of wanted to show you how that worked. And I think we're going to call this a break at this point. Let's turn that off so we'll get back on camera again. Ooh, that was kind of ripply, wasn't it? It's kind of up to you at this point. I sometimes wait till the last minute, but I kind of want to see what kind of tension I get putting this filter in. So, all right. It's on the cup. It's proud that little bit. I think that's going to be fine. Let's see where it kind of stands. Kind of wish it had a little bit more spring than that. So, yeah, I don't think that don't feel right for some reason. The inner part rides here and the outer part there. I think I'm going to shim that up a little bit. You can get away with that. I can get away with it. You can't. So don't do that. Don't do what I do. Just, okay, put your filter in and call it a day. But I just kind of wanted to get a feel for that. Okay, let's go to the next step. Okay, well, give me a thumbs up. And I got to go check on my other stuff here. So there's my table and my dispenser for my paper cloths. I like my paper because it don't have all that stuff in it. So yeah, they kind of got pooped out there, didn't they? Hard to get a clamp on this because it's so weak. But I don't know what I'm gonna. I just come over and push them in. Okay, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'm out of battery. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe. Bye bye.